Hello, everyone. It's time to talk some more about push, and we're on day number 72 of 365 Live. And my question of the day: what have you been doing for the past 72 days of the year? It has been quite a journey for me, and I continue my talk today. I'm talking about my program that I have built into the repertoire of things that I do. And initially, it was built to be a, a, a coaching program, but now I've added it to my counseling practice as well. And it's called Push Beyond Silent Suffering in Christian Marriage. I get to see all the suffering that goes on out there. And so I thought of an acronym called PUSH because that is what is required. That is what is required to keep that marriage, to make that marriage, to hold on to that marriage. There has to be a push. And the acronym, yesterday I talked about persevering, and we talked about persevering and what it means to persevere in marriage. And so, despite the difficulties, despite the shortcomings, and all the things, we persevere. We not even when things are not working in our favor, we persevere in that marriage, getting to the push. And so today we're talking about unstoppable. The U is for unstoppable. And if we would define unstoppable, we would say you decided to you decided you're unbeatable. You know, I used to have something on my wall with, and you've probably seen it with the high heel shoes, and it says unstoppable. I also have read a few times Dr. Cindy Trim's book, Unstoppable. Unstoppable means you're not stopping, you just keep going, 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 because you recognize that at the end of the day, that is what it will take. That is what it will take to make you unstoppable, to make your business unstoppable, and in this case, to make your marriage unstoppable. So you keep going. So in my practice and in this coaching program, when we get to this point, we talk about the vision. What is the vision for the marriage? Is everybody clear? Are both parties clear on the vision for the marriage? The Bible says, and since I go at it from a biblical perspective, the Bible says to write the vision and make it plain. So, my question to you out there, married people: have you written the vision for your marriage, or rewritten it if you need to? Write the vision, make it plain. All parties are clear as to what the vision is, and you work towards that vision. What would that look like if you wrote the vision and decided to work towards the vision? When we build vision boards, we want to put them in areas where we can see them all the time, so that we keep it clear in our minds what the vision is. So, that would be a homework assignment, a vision board. What does the vision board look like for your marriage? When we did our past retreat, couples retreat, last year, the young lady that did the self-care portion of it asked us to build a vision board in that one night together for our marriage, and it made a difference. I still keep looking at our board, and so that would become a homework assignment for my clients, to build a vision board for your marriage and keep it in a place where you can see it all the time. It doesn't mean the vision is going to remain the same all the time, but most of the parts should still remain. And as you get through them, you keep checking off, we did that, we did that, we did that. And you keep making your way towards that vision, but you're doing it together. as a team, because that will keep you unstoppable. How are you communicating is another question that I would ask. Communication seems to be at probably close to the top of the list next to intimacy in my office. When people arrive, I now counsel everyone on a virtual space most of the time, and people are talking about communication all the time. What does communication look like? Well, first of all, you need to understand not just how you communicate, but how does the other person communicate? How do they communicate? And I'm not just relating it to speaking, but what does their body language look like? Are they communicating even when they're silent? We have to learn how to communicate with each other, because it's the key to being unstoppable. And when you learn each other's communication style, that makes the biggest difference of all. And communication doesn't mean just talking, 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 like most of us girls like to do, but listening is a major part, probably the biggest part of communication. And we're not just listening with our ears, we're listening with our hearts, we're listening with every part of us, we're listening to body language. What is that person's body language telling us? And after a while, we get to learn the body language of our spouses, and we get to understand when they look a certain way, that means and when they look another way, that's And so you get to understand how to communicate, how to listen, how to participate in a conversation, even sometimes when the other person isn't actually even speaking. And so we learn all of that, and then we look at love. And I usually ask to me, it's just a simple question. What is love? What is love? And I get an abundance of responses when I ask, what is love? Is that since I work with pre marriage as well, and most of those people are like, just so amazingly in love with each other. They tell me that love is that thing that they feel in their heart. They just look forward to speaking to that person all the time, every day, all the time. And then I put the icing on the cake by going, so what happens when you don't feel like talking to them anymore when you get married? What happens then? And I get a silence in the room, just like I'm getting right now, even on here. There's a silence in the room when you ask that particular question. And then with my married couples, they tell me all of their things as well. And then the reason why they're with me is because they don't feel like they're in love anymore, or like the person loves them anymore. And I go, well, what is that? What is that supposed to be? What is it supposed to look like? And I get out, the Bible, the Bible that's supposed to be guiding us in everything that we do, especially our marriage. And I say, well, 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4-8 says, love is patient. In some versions, it says, love suffers long and is kind. And it sounds like an oxymoron. Well, how do we suffer yet still be kind? And those are the things that we look at as far as where God is concerned. It goes on to say, love holds no record of wrong. Most of the time, the people that are in my office, it's because they're holding a record of wrong. And so we get to maneuver through that and get through that. And at the end of the day, recognizing that if all these things come into play, we get to a place of unstoppable in our marriage, because we get to a place where we're no longer hiding everything under the carpet. We've pulled up the carpet, opened everything up, look at the filth and decided to clean it up. And so I get to help with the cleanup projects for these marriages, and I call it push. I call it push. And so the unstoppable you in push is what we're discussing today. Are you that person who is looking around in your marriage and going, I am done. I stop. I am stopping because I can't do this anymore. Well, my suggestion today is to give it one more try. One more try. Yesterday, I talked about the enemy in the room, is just waiting for you to stop, just waiting for you to leave a gaping hole so that he could barge right in and take over. And a lot of times we've left that gaping hole and he barges right in and takes over. I've been through divorce. Some of you already know that. I've been there. Understand the plight of it all and realizing that all of these things that I get to teach my clients today are the things that can keep a marriage if both parties are willing to fight. It's a fight. In every single fight, whether it's happening in a ring or it's just happening in the street or wherever you see a fight, somebody is pushing, somebody is pushing, somebody is pushing. So how about we push and fight just like that in the ring for our marriages? And that's what I get to offer every single day to couples that choose to utilize me as their counselor or coach. When we do it in the counseling arena, it's a few sessions. We go through a few sessions. When we do it for coaching, it's a 10-week project. It's a 10-week project with some Zoom meetings attached that we get to walk through together to get to that place in your marriage, that place of wholeness, that place of healing, that place of wellness, that place of intimacy, that place of a re-love connection. And so that is what this is all about. And if you want to know more about what I do, I put some links in the post, whether you want to just book a call with me, a 30-minute call, phone call, or the other link is to book a free 30-minute consultation on a virtual platform with me, and I will be ecstatic to answer all of your questions about my program that I call Push Beyond Silent Suffering in Christian Marriage. If this is you, click the link and I'm waiting for your call. So thank you again today for joining me on day number 72 of 365 Live. Have a blessed, wonderful, exciting, and unstoppable day. God bless you all.